Get in my way, never out of my lane. Feel like you the one and I'm on one. So what it's gonna be? Baby, squad up. We finna go deep. Riding on a team. Got what you need. Baby, won't you keep me company? Give me something to do when I get lonely. I got something for you when we get home. If you let me put it down. When I hit the town, you should lie.
What's up? Hey, Lex Boo.
Hi, Sharelle. Really well.
Give me the skincare. I think at this point, you just need to come out with your own skincare line.
You know, the glow is glowing. It's really water. It's happiness. It's
Don't tell them. Don't tell them.
You know, I might have to drop some, you know.
You're going to have to drop something, sexy Lex. How have you been?
I have been. Do you hear my voice? It's kind of it's a little off. I've been in the kitchen at Smith and Webster on the weekends, and I mean, I'm overwhelmed. It's in such a great way, from running the line of being a prep cook, as well as getting to know everyone's energy. So it's becoming familiar to me now. And just being in the kitchen, I'm just fueled by passion. So I'm just like living it up, but I'm like yelling at the staff and like telling the orders up. And it just was a long weekend. We have dinner on Friday nights and Saturday nights, and then brunch.
I used to always catch the brunches.
Yeah, the brunches on Sundays, and it's a vibe too. So it's just been packed. It's been overwhelming, but it's been great at the same time. I'm happy. My mother and my aunt came by on Friday night and celebrated her 82nd birthday. So that was fun. The fact that they got to see me, and before she left to St. Louis, she got to see me in my element. So it was a proud moment and full circle moment, because now I could like nourish them and give them food. So it's great, you know. And then my house is quiet. My children are away for the summer, and I'm just like don't know what to do with this newfound peace. So I'm just low key, just enjoying that and adjusting to it, and happy and grateful. So here I am. What about you, Mama?
I know that's right. I'm just living my best life.
Good.
Stress free.
As
you
we
know,
should.
I just been enjoying life. I'm traveling, and I'm about to get ready, getting my outfit together for the Beyonce concert in Paris.
When is that
I
gonna
might hit Juneteenth. So
Oh,
I'm actually
so
gonna go. She's gonna perform on Juneteenth,
Yeah.
and then while I'm there, I may go to the south of France.
You should.
You
should
enjoy the beautiful life.
Yeah, you should. This is the time to be traveling, you know what I mean? Like the summertime. And very much, I feel like Miami's kind of like it's not as busy as it is, because everyone's done with school and everyone leaves. Everyone is like, oh, we're in Italy, we're in the south of France and all of that. So we definitely
My daughter, she's taking her second trip. She just graduated college, so she's taking her second trip alone with her friends. It's gonna be their graduation trip. So she's about to enjoy herself. I'm like, now is the time to live, and then I'll have to, get her we're gonna throw her a trunk party and send her off to college.
That's amazing.
So
be great.
Excited.
Be great.
I know. I was
I'm all for it.
I was like, I'm big sis now. I was like, don't call me mom, call me big sis.
I love that. I love that. I do want to mention, I do want to real quick, I do want to mention, I was in the culinary space. At Smith and Webster, they do a great job of incorporating the students of Job Corps. And unfortunately, it was my last weekend with two young students whom depended on this program that unfortunately had to dissipate due to the new administration. There was no funding. So a lot of students that are, underprivileged and also wanted just to do it, have a path in a professional field are now being forced to leave. They don't know where to go. They live there, they were bused there, just very much given the opportunity. And so many professionals use Job Corps. If they didn't have that, then they would have been stuck in these impoverished communities and very much stuck in the system. So I just want to send out a shout out to the two students that were there. I just wanted to wish you guys good luck. And it's unfortunate that it's a lot of students, a lot of kids between the ages of 16 and 24 that are now affected. So it sucks. So I just wanted to give a shout out and give them some glory real quick.
Oh, that was sweet. Like it does suck,
Terrible.
How they spend their money and how they budget and how they just cut everything that means something. Like we put money towards irrelevant crap right now. It sucks.
Yeah.
But I do have a program, since we're talking about that. But my program help veterans. So with the Lord Realty, if you're a veteran and you're stationed out of Florida, they have a program that's called the Bridge program, where basically when you're transitioning it, if you want to get into like let's say real estate or be your own entrepreneur, I have allowed veteran military personnel who are transitioning from the military into civilian life to come shadow me. So I still have that program. No, I don't get paid for it, but it's just something to give back to support and help veterans, because it's hard, being in the military and that's all and coming back into the civilian life. Like it's hard to adapt back into that, or even get into that civilian life, because like me, that's all I knew. I went from high school straight into the military world, and that's all I depended on. So I signed up for it to help military personnel transitioning from being a soldier back into the civilian. So if you're in the Tampa Bay area, Allure Realty welcomes you.
I love to hear that. It's each one teach one, and it takes a village for sure. So yeah.
It definitely does. Well, let's get into it. I'm glad everything's going good. When I'm in Miami, I have to come check you out, Sexy Lex. Please. The only thing I request with Smith, I remember I used to go there a while back, and the grits, they wasn't like your regular Southern grits. They still use
they use a Georgia grit. And like it's like it's been in that pot for a couple hours, and it's just they're delicious.
Wait, they must changed it, because they ain't used to use the Southern grits no more. They used to use a different type of grit. It wasn't like the Southern.
This one is gritty. This one is nice and creamy, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to come check it out then. All right, since we're talking about it, let's get into swim week. I was watching and the girls were killing it. The recap of, were they on 10? The baddies, were they on 10? So did you check out any of the shows, Lex?
Unfortunately, I was not. I was doing the runway in the kitchen in the back of the restaurant.
Okay.
I did not, but I did see a few highlights, other than that.
I was watching and the girls were serving. I loved it. The walk, some of the girls needed some work on their walk, but the bodies were on point. I'm like, oof.
The way I do follow up is a few of the girlfriends that we follow, like shout out to Bunny and
Bunny. Listen.
Oh yeah,
Bunny,
you know what I mean? So that's I got to see swim week through them too.
Yeah, she shut it down. It was her whole Instagram was a movie for me the whole weekend. Because I was excited to see all her looks. Like she was serving, the waltz was there, her husband, Peaky Sweats, was there supporting her. I was like, girl, you are killing it.
Yeah,
So
swim
shout out.
meet is a big deal here in Miami.
Yeah.
I didn't know that until I ended up going to support friends over the summer, but like it's a big deal. Miami is popping. It's always something going on in Miami. I know that there's different like fashion weeks around the United States in different times, but swim week in Miami hits different. You have the
Huge.
beach, it's usually great weather. So it's like, it's that last little cusp of entertainment before everyone kind of starts to relocate for the summer. So I love that. Yeah. Shout out to the Baddies.
My biggest highlight was Jordan. When Jordan was walking
Jordan
the room with her swimsuit on, she did a front flip and kept strolling. I was like, girl, you better walk it. I
As
think
she
she had
should.
the best walkway, and she was the highlight over the weekend of swim week. So shout out to our girl Jordan
Jordan
for
Childs, yeah.
crossing over from being an athlete into the whole fashion space. She is our Betty of the week.
I love that. As she should use the runway. We saw her on the main stage of the USA, representing the USA in the Olympics. And so we are just cheering for her all the time. And she is a baddie. I love seeing the different speaking of that, I love seeing the different standards of beauty. And she's a shorter girl being and very strong, and just her thighs
Right.
are just beautiful in her own way. And so like I love the fact that we can see a plethora of bodies, your body type, because
Yes.
everyone, we live in swimming suits out here. It's basically we're on island time. And everyone has a swimsuit and everyone's confident from around the world. So I love that she did her front flip. I mean, we get to see her do it in her element, and like she upped it a little bit because not everybody could do that. The straight line.
She added a little spice to
Yeah,
it.
you have to.
A little taste of Jordan to swim week.
Yes, I love it. I love it.
Would you rather slay the runway or not? Would you at today's age, would you give it a stroll?
Yeah, why not? I'm actually the most confident I've ever been in my life. I tell my girls all the time, embrace their bodies, because gravity takes over and age does too. But I would definitely represent for the baddies of my body type, and very much like strut my stuff. Um, Depends on the type of swimming suit though. Like when we on the islands and we're away, the thong will come out. You know what I mean? But that's not for the runway. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's gonna happen for me.
I mean, it will sexy legs because you got that body, girl.
No, not for the runway, but I definitely, the beach way, when it's like the girls' trip, or couple, just myself and a guy, then that'll happen. That'll come out. But other than that, I would probably do like a high-waisted situation and just strap my stuff for sure. What about you?
I definitely would. I have a walk. The walk has always been there,
Yes,
and I feel
do.
like
you gotta walk.
So give me that walk, but I am stage frightened. So I don't know. I would have to drink
You?
I am shy.
You?
Like in real
Sharelle.
I am sexy legs. Like I'm really shy in real life. Like
Oh my gosh.
with the cameras and everything, if I can look past that, but people actually looking at me and all eyes are on me, I do not like that.
Well, you could definitely shut the runway. Like, come on now. I know you could.
I can hit them with a little sexy walk.
Yeah. Are you comfortable in a certain type of swimming suit over another, or it's just whatever for you? Because you
I would
work out. I've
prefer.
been seeing you, sis. Like,
Yes, I have been working out, been getting rid of the back fat, but I hate my tattoo. So if I could go back and remove that, I would. But yeah, I would. I would probably rock both, either or.
Yeah, I guess the standard of beauty is a whole spectrum now, which I love. You know what I mean? Tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever the case may be. I'd love to see it. So we could definitely do it. We got the energy.
Shout out to the ladies. shout out to the ladies who was killing it during swim week. Now we
Everything
talking
was
about
beautiful.
bathing suits and all this. Now our girl Cardi was showing out on the boat with Stefon Diggs,
Yes, yes.
but it was a lot of going back and forth between Stefon and Offset.
And Cardi and her soon to be ex-husband too. It's just a lot of feelings, a lot of emotions. And she was wearing that swimsuit, baby.
She was definitely wearing the swimsuit, but it was a lot of controversy. People talking, people were supporting her because allegedly she came out and officially announced her and Stefon Diggs by the post that they put on. And Offset and Stefon was throwing shots back and forth, subliminal posts back and forth. My question is, because I was looking, I know people support, but I don't know. I just feel different. I want better for Cardi. Cardi is a mom now, and I feel like, she went from one relationship to another, and Stefan does not have the best reputation when it comes to women. And a lot of his exes and women that he dealt with are saying, you went from one dog to another one, and maybe he's worse. So it's like,
I'm indifferent about it. One, people can't help when they meet each other. You know what I'm saying? I believe in divine timing. I also believe in like following your heart and just being happy. We don't know I feel like we also put too much pressure on everyone. One with the soft launch, and now we are expecting them to do X, Y, and Z, and then or a hard lunch or whatever. So it's like I low key want to stay out of people's businesses because I'm just like, look, it's too much. And one week they'll be this way, and the next week we don't know. And so it's just like it's tough because when you're public figures, people want to
it's
speculate.
hard.
Yeah, they want to
Yeah.
speculate. They want the best for you too, and then they're gonna also chime in on your relationship, your status, who you with, and all that kind of stuff. So it's added pressure. So I think whatever is making her happy get through this time because divorce is not easy. And now you have children, you have businesses, things you built together as a marriage.
But
But
see,
at the
that's
same time, you got to move on too.
But I feel like that's the problem us as women we go through. We move on too quickly, not saying that she did, but we think that, because you found somebody that temporarily makes you happy, you're in a good place, but all you're doing is just putting a band-aid over the wound.
Yeah, I
You're
understand that.
repeating that cycle. I was in that, space at one time, and I had to learn, like, I can't continue to depend or find a man to continue to make me happy, and you're going into
Mm.
that same cycle, finding that same type of man. It's like you just keep on repeating the same steps over and over and over again.
Yeah, yeah. It's very hard to transition too, like when you go from a breakup, like being with someone for so long, learning them, understanding them, planning with them, to a sudden breakup, and now you're like trying to figure out like assets and time and whatever the case may be. It's definitely hard. It's traumatic, and you get triggered from anything like red flags or something, traumas and triggers that have happened in that past relationship. You also don't want to bring it into your new situation, your new friendship, or your new partnership with someone. So it is definitely a healing space. Marriage is one of the hardest things in the world to do. And the fact that they even tried for love, it failed, which happens obviously all the time. But the fact that she's willing to give it again, like just really be um a woman that wants to love and be loved, and they're having fun, you know what I mean? Like, I guess, what is it, 6 months or something like that they've been together or
I
whatever.
mean, you got kids, you getting
Yeah,
older.
but that's the beautiful thing is this too, like, I mean, I've been told no one's gonna want me, with 4 kids, and
But it's not even that.
it's just like, where are your kids, and where are there's just people are chiming in on so much. What do you think? What do you
They
say?
shouldn't worry about. I'm sure Cardi is a great mom. It's not that, like, where are your kids? It's more like heal yourself first and then find someone that you can't keep going repeating the same cycle. I mean, this man was just on a boat with you and other women calling him daddy. It's not a good look.
I mean, it's not a great look, but we also don't know their bedroom situation, what their thing is. I mean, obviously, like, you know, I really don't, I hate, that's the one thing I don't like to do is be in people's bedrooms with them. So we don't know what their preferences are and what they're into. But she's having fun, and so is he. You know what I mean? That it's just it's summer, it's their lives, and
I guess it's hot girl summer, so by any means necessary, you're gonna do whatever it takes to make it look
But I
good.
agree, you do need to heal from the first situation, and just and before you get into anything else, because that's not fair for the new partner. That's not, take the time to build a friendship and really get to know somebody and really know yourself too, because you're mourning, you are grieving, you are, adjusting and
Cardi is a Libra girl. She's a lover girl. Libras are lovers.
yes,
No
yes,
matter
they
how
are.
much we say, F this, I ain't trying to be in no more relationships no more. I'm done. We fall in love.
Yeah.
We are not meant to just be outside. Like, that's
You want
not
to be
what
locked
Libras
down.
like. We want to be locked down, and our whole mindset, we think that, oh, we can change somebody, this, that, and the third. Oh, they're gonna fall in love with me. And you're gonna end up getting your feelings hurt. We all been there.
Yeah.
So I'm praying for my girl Cardi. Have your fun,
Hmm.
but don't lock in.
You think it's like a rebound?
I think she just going through her stages right now. I hope and pray she just going through her stages, and it's nothing serious.
Okay. Well, that's that.
But I'm happy that she's happy.
Same
But
here.
I want Cardi to find real true love
I just wanted to be at peace.
and make some more music.
Maybe this is inspiration.
Our girl Gabrielle Union,
Mhm.
she did an interview, a podcast, and she was basically saying that she has a one strike rule. Like, now at this stage of life, I don't have time for the bull crap. Like, you got one time to irritate me, and you're blocked, deleted, and blocked. How do you feel about that, Lex?
I agree with her 100%. I am learning the power of no, what is worth my time, what is not worth my time, who values me, and who really wants to really, who do I want in my space and to disturb this peace in a roundabout way. So yeah, bye. If you're not adding value and on this journey with me, then you don't need to be here with me. One time is enough. If you are rude, if you are not irritable, if you're just very much not for my growth, I would 100% not need to have that conversation with you. It's sacred to be in your space. It's sacred to be in your life in general. And not everybody's meant to be there in the long term. So I'm okay with letting people go, whether that's family, whether it's business, whether it's anything. I'm definitely one of those ones. I will give you, if you're doing something very disrespectful, then we have no ties. I actually just don't have to see you. I don't want to be in your presence. You're gonna see me, in the passing, but we don't have to be around each other in that capacity, and you don't get this energy anymore. So I'm all for it. And yeah. What about you?
I kind of disagree, because I mean, sometimes we have bad moods, and we can be thinking that, any and everything irritates us. So somebody can catch us on a bad day where it's not even their fault, and they're just irritating. And we sometimes, when we're in those type moods, we take our stress and we don't even look at it from, it's just anything can aggravate them. So I don't look at it like that. You really have to do something to a point where it crosses one of my boundaries, where it's like, okay, I'm going to cut you off. But I am always open, no matter how old I am, to giving people a chance. But there's boundaries that are set. Um, she said, I'm at an age where if you irritate me, she ain't playing no games. You
Well, what
like,
are
I'm
we
at
doing? Time is
shoot.
precious. And, again, in your space, in your bubble, who you allow in your home, who do you show up for? Who do you spend in time with? Time is valuable, and we definitely take it for granted. And I'm not, you show up for those who show up for you. You're going to pull up and you're going to be there for those people. We don't have time for the people who want to see us fail and negative and heavy energy. I'm
Right.
not doing
Those
it.
are boundaries for me. Yeah,
Yes,
that's a strong.
non-negotiable.
Yeah.
Before I
But
used to get ran over, people would take advantage of that kindness, and then they start playing in your face, and we don't have time for that
right.
no more. Not at all.
I do have a little room for grace, but I am all about protecting my peace. Peace is my number one priority. So,
Yeah.
I mean, for me, like I said, it's boundaries. How many chances, Lex, should you give someone before they're blocked for good?
Blocked for good.
Because we'll
Wow.
block somebody
And
and
then
then we'll
unblock them.
okay, unblock them. Let me.
I'm passive petty. That's what us Pisces are. Where I'll mute you. That way I don't have to have I don't have to have dings or alerts about you. But I want you to see what's going on too over here. That shit don't stop.
Mhm.
So it might be me blocking you, so we're not having communication, but I definitely won't block you so you can see what's going on over here. Because we have a good time. We're gonna keep it moving and have some memories, and you get to miss out on it. So I'm kind of like in that space of it. How many times it does take a little bit for me, I'll just kind of start backing off and weaning off of you. But you would have to do something on my list of disrespect for me to just be like, nah, this ain't worth it. You know what I mean? Because I love the fact that you can hit a little button and make all that disappear. Because
Done.
because at home it's peace.
I'm very petty. I hit them, when the bubbles are typing, block. Because what you about to say
It
is
goes
not coming.
green. Green.
That's how petty I get, baby. You're not about to write me no whole book.
Yeah. Oh, you don't like the book?
Mm-mm. Nope. And then 5 minutes after you send what you send, because it's not gonna come once I block it and you hit send, you're gonna have to resend it. I'll have mine in my notes and say everything I need to say, cuss you out, unblock you, send it, and block you back.
So you don't even that's very toxic. You don't even want to hear what they got to say. You want the
No,
final word.
the last word.
Okay.
Goodbye.
And I said that and I'm standing on business.
Right.
And block.
That's the old Sharelle, though. I don't have to deal with those issues anymore.
Your filter is better.
I
So
have.
we're not even going there, right? That's the lesson learned.
We're not. We're not.
Good, good. I like the growth. I actually love the growth, Sharelle.
The growth has been amazing. Don't you see me glowing?
Yeah, we have to grow and we have to, accept criticism and feedback. That way that gets us better. And so we
Yeah.
we do better, we know better, we do better. Yes, I see the
Listen,
glow. The
I
glow is
had so
going.
much. I had from my friends to my counterparts, my business partners, we had talks and talks, and I was like, oh my goodness, I'm glad y'all held me accountable. Like y'all
Yeah.
coming to me and telling me how I was to get me back. Now your girl is on a mission,
Mhm.
nonstop.
That's what you're supposed to do is surround
Yeah,
yourself with the right people,
that's true.
consistently. Because misery loves company. We've had this conversation to where they
Hmm.
will definitely bring you down if someone's down, someone is not in a healed space. Yeah, we don't have time for that.
Yeah. That's why it's very important. That's why I was saying with Cardi, it's very important because you being in toxic relationships, you become such a different person. You miss
Mhm.
out on so many opportunities. You don't even put yourself first anymore. It's like you're not your real self
The
because
full-time
you're going
job.
yeah, it changes you and
Exhausting.
very. So
Yeah.
I just thank God, you know,
Yeah,
I
good.
have friends who accountable partners that make sure I'm good. That
Good.
make sure I'm good. All right, let's get into it. Vic Mensa. Is that how you say his name? Mensa?
I believe so. I don't know if
Raw
it's
Honesty.
fake
So
news.
he did a podcast with Jason Lee and he spoke about a lot of things. What really, caught my attention was his depression as a black man, and not only as a black man, as a child. Like
Mm.
he at 5 years old, he knew something wasn't right with him.
That's amazing awareness.
He opened up about suicide, like he was having suicidal thoughts at 5 years old. Being a Black man in America and how society worsened his mental health. We're going to talk about the stigma around black men discussing mental health. I think we spoke about this a few times before, but it's very, I think we should continue to speak on it and make it a safe space, especially for our Black men to open up and talk about, because they hold so much in.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm always talking to my boys, like, talk to me, tell me what's going on. It's okay to let it out, like cry it out. It's okay to show emotions. It's okay to open up. But he basically spoke about his suicidal thoughts, and 5 years old, about to commit suicide at 5. Like, how do you know, just going through so much at 5 years old?
Yeah, it's a lot that we don't know that goes on in these households. There's a lot of depression. It's a lot of undiagnosed people that are in your household and in and out. There's a lot of heavy energy. There's a poverty. There is no food. There's a abuse. There's so many things you can name. And I just want to give a shout out to it's actually June is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. So this is great timing that we're speaking on this, but the fact that these men are being vulnerable and breaking the cycle and the generational curse, especially in our communities, of speaking out and being very honest about it, to me is very masculine, is very sexy, that people are saying, you know what, this is who I am, this is how I felt, and I want to fix it. And then speaking on it so you can help others. It's really each one teach one. And the fact that these men can be vulnerable enough to express their feelings and communicate really does help us as a community, as in marriages, as partnerships, in business, and really rearing our next generations of youth. To see your parents go to therapy, to see your parents talk about things, to see everyone in your household be open about their dialogue of just what's going on in their minds and their hearts and their brains. There's a lot of energy around us. There's pressure at school, there's pressure on the fields and on the basketball courts. It's pressure to maintain certain lifestyle and keep up with the Joneses and all these things. So the fact that we're just more aware, our generation is very open-minded to learning, and we are affording therapy, and we're also knowing how to write it off for, all these things, right? Whereas now our children are just very much more open to talk about it. They're really ahead of us in a beautiful way with technology and things that they have, because they can hit AI and be private and say, hey, I'm feeling like this. You know what I mean? Or
Right.
ChatGPT and be like, I'm feeling like this. What are some symptoms, or what is this going on? And their friends are talking about it more and more and more. So I just feel like the stigma is changing. People are getting more open about being vocal and really seeking help. So I just think it takes a community of our strong Black men and us women to uplift them and also encourage them, because we need that. We need to have that conversation and that dialogue. That way it's okay. Like, it's okay. You have to exercise your brain just like you exercise your body. You have to exercise your heart, and we have to take care of our bodies. That's how you stay mindful and stay resilient in this world, because it's heavy, it's hard, it's war, it's losing jobs, it's so much going on. And this is stuff that has happened over the decades and over the generations, regardless of how you were raised. So shout out to him for saying, really recognizing it. And that's a sad place to be at 5. That's kindergarten. That's a precious age where you like, I just don't want to go on,
You should be
is
thinking like,
insane.
it's so sad.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's heavy, but fast forward to where he is now, to where he has a platform where he's like, look, these are the options, these are the ways I did it, this happened to me, and let it not happen to you, or this is very much relatable. Because I feel like over time we were just embarrassed, or we would lie about it, or not us, or what happens in this house stays in this house was like embedded in us. And unfortunately it made us like very much shell shock and very much like, you know, closed in. And so now it's better to talk about things. Like this is very therapeutic for me to have my girl time to talk about how I feel and really to help others and inspire others to like be open to like dialogue about all issues. So I think it's definitely necessary in our community and should be talked about more.
Definitely. Do you feel like Black men get the safe space they deserve? If not, who's responsible for creating that?
I mean, I do feel like, Black men do deserve this, but all men do. Men have a lot of pressure being the head of the household and being the provider as well as the protector, and have to have this hard, like always aware, like I'm gonna, be the lion, I'm gonna protect my household. So yes, it's hard. And it's
There's no
really an
room
all
to be
men
weak.
thing. Yeah, yeah. And you can't be weak. You can't cry. You can't, you have to be this tough shell. And it at the end of the day, it's a partnership. When you're raising children, when you're raising, just having a partner, if you have children or not, we both need that masculine and that feminine energy to connect and really build and grow and be vulnerable as partners, whatever your situation is. So men are needed to be in that leadership role. And it's very much it's hard because I always think back to just like the lineage of like how we got here in the first place with slavery, and how people on your level you would look up to, and very much the strength of sold off being bigger and stronger and split up from your families, and then turn around and then the slave owners are using your own, who what once was like a brother to you is now reprimanding you, beating you, and turning on you, that used to be a colleague. So you look at that where it's just like over time, men, and they're in the prison systems. It's hard for them to seek employment. They just have been just beaten for like really low key centuries. And women, we were definitely in the home, caretaking and being maternal and being much nurses and your OBGYNs back in the day. So it's just like we as a community and at whole have to recognize our power. I say this over and over again because we are a very smart group of individuals that are very talented, that have the same opportunities, and we still do not get the reparations needed and necessary for us to even to keep growing. So we just have to keep going back to our communities, giving back to our communities, and reaching out to our youth because they need us the most. And so we can keep that cycle going of growth instead of just that heaviness that's been pinned on us being in the United States.
And I feel like the more we speak on it, the more we talk about it, the more we have role models of men who open up about it, the more it's going to be okay to speak on, to talk about. So
Yeah.
shout out to the guys who are opening up, talking about their trauma and saying that it's okay to release it. It's okay to talk about it. And not only is it mental health awareness, it's also PTSD. So everyone who's going through PTSD, I suffer from PTSD, and it's not easy. So if it is the month of awareness, I keep on getting alerts on my phone, but make sure if you're going through something that you seek some type of therapy, some type of counseling, talk to someone, reach out to someone. Don't just shut down.
Yeah.
Because when you shut down, you don't know what can happen. You deal with so much, and we don't want anything bad to happen. So make sure if you're going through something, you have a bad time, just reach out to somebody, get out and do something positive.
Yes, whether it's a mentor, whether it's a superior, a brother, someone that you can trust that really is like, look, this worked for me. I feel like honesty is the best policy, just because when someone sees that they're vulnerable and like open and honest about a certain situation, then that does open up the floodgates to be more open about it. So it's about having a good support group too of of individuals that will help elevate you, not like bring you down, but will like give you good sound advice so you can make the right decisions.
And it took me a minute to go through therapy, to go through it. I mean, I remember when, my daughter, I think I told this story before. It took my daughter to tell me, Mom, you changed, for me to go seek help, because she was like, you're not the same mom that you were before. And it was probably like 6 months after I came back from Afghanistan. And I was like, my child see
The
something
difference.
different. But
Yeah.
I was still going through it with my therapist. You don't know what the F I've been through. Like, why am I talking to you? Like, all you're gonna do is just give me medicine. I don't want that. Like, you can't solve. You haven't experienced what I had a wall built up, even with my therapist for so long. I pulled out, waited a year, went again, and I kept going until I got it right. And I did some intense therapy to help me get through things that I went through during my whole time in the military. So it was a great experience, and I still I learned coping skills when I went through therapy. I still utilize them. I still talk to my therapist till this day. So it's great. It's great to seek help and get help.
Mm-hmm. And if you feel embarrassed too, or just not ready for it, they also have now where you can chat with someone one-on-one on your phone. These tele visits are very popular and very much at hand. So you can start there too.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now it's time to get in our questions from our humble Betty fans. We don't have that many that came in today. Only two came in. Well, three came in, but we answered the first one. Will we ever do Miami Swim Week? And if so, what swimsuit would we rock? I think we both answered that one. The next one, what's something petty someone did to you that made you instantly block them? Ooh.
I think for me, it's always just comments on Instagram. Like, Instagram is there for entertainment purposes. It's a double-edged sword for me. So I'll block somebody in a minute if they say something out of line. I'm just like, block. I don't have time for this, block. Like, you know
Hey.
me. It takes a lot for me to engage if you being disrespectful. But like, I understand that you're behind a phone. You could be a fan or a hater. And I'm not gonna let that ruin like my moment. I'm on the gram either promoting something or just being my free self and just expressing myself creatively. I don't need that negativity. I'm just like, whatever. And I don't really like low key don't even read the other comments either. It's just like if I happen to be seeing it, I'm just like, what? That just block. So maybe that's petty or not. I don't know, but I'm protecting my peace. So it's definitely like easy. Block, block, block. This finger's strong.
Listen, I like to have the last word. So before I block,
You want to leave the sting. You want
do,
to
do,
leave the
do, do,
stinger
do.
in.
I wait
You
three
want to leave the
minutes.
stinger in. Let it
I,
marinate.
I wait 3 minutes, let it marinate a little bit, go back, block, because I don't want to hear that.
What's the pettiest thing for you? Will it be something that's said or just like,
Yeah, probably something that's said on social media.
yeah,
I just block it.
I think
But
that's
I say what I gotta say back. Sometimes I have my clap back, let it marinate a little bit, and then block, because we're not about to have a
you got to let them know.
typing match on social media.
We're not doing that. So
But you are gonna hear what I have to say.
don't feel the wrath, the rel.
I just before we go into the humble baddies mail, I just got a text from my girl Kennedy. Oh, my stink. She's my bonus child. That's Chad's daughter who turned 10. She said,
Oh,
Sharelle, can you take me to Tampa this Saturday? Oh, mama's
uh-oh.
happy
Want to get
birthday.
away.
Shout out to Snoop. Today is her birthday. So shout out to my girl. She just turned 10.
Happy birthday. She want to get away. She
She
said
want her.
she's like, what does she call what do they call you? Like what do they say? Take
No,
me
she
to
just
them,
say
Mama Rel.
Sharelle.
Sherelle.
No, they don't. I don't allow. They have a great mother. It's just
Good.
Sherelle. They very respect. That they're still respectful
I
and
love that.
everything. But she's like, Sherelle, can you take me to Tampa this Saturday?
Yeah, she want the tour. She want the full everything. I love it.
That's my girl. But so happy birthday, Kennedy. We love you.
Happy birthday.
let's get into this humble baddies mail.
You want me to read
Like,
it? Yeah.
yes.
All right, here we go. I gave her everything and she still left me.
Mm.
Hey, humble baddies.
Hey.
I really need y'all advice because I feel like my whole world just crashed. I've been with my girl for 6 years. I helped her through nursing school, paid some of her tuition, got her first car in my name, and even helped take care of her mom when she was sick. I did everything a man was supposed to do. She told me she loved me every day. But the moment she graduated, got her career, and started making money, she switched up. She started talking about finding herself, needing space, and wanting to experience life. 3 months later, she's posting trips to Tulum with some dude that owns a gym. It's like everything we built meant nothing. The part that hurts the most, she told me I was too good and she just needed someone with some edge. Like, what does that even mean? I love her purely. I was loyal. I sacrificed. And now I'm sitting here trying to pick up the pieces while she's out living her best life like I never existed. Ladies, I need to know, is it true that some women only stick around until they level up and then leave the man who helped them get there? Was I just a stepping stone? Should I ever trust another woman again? Signed, heartbroken and used.
Damn.
That's sad.
I feel bad for him. That's sad.
Yeah.
Like it shows like she was only there for you for your benefits.
Mm-hmm.
From the signs that from what he's saying, it's like you did everything for this woman and she basically took advantage of you. She had an end goal. Um,
Yeah.
I honestly don't think he should judge every woman off of, the decisions that she made because every person is not like that. It sucks because she has ruined it for a lot of women, but I wouldn't judge other women based off her actions. That's so sad. I feel bad for him.
I agree with you, Sharelle. Like, I wouldn't let it hinder my dating experience going forward. It does hurt. It is hurtful. And that lets you know in the long run she was not for you. We see it time and time again where one partner has that growth and the other one isn't there for that, and you end up splitting up. But she showed her true colors, and that's realistically what people should be praying for. Like, reveal yourself to me, be yourself to me. So now I know how to move accordingly. So use it as a blessing in disguise. It definitely is hurtful because you invested in this person. You were investing in you saw the potential in them as a potential partner and saw that growth in them. But it's time for you to focus on yourself. Now you know what you're capable of. I always try to use past experience to understand who I am, where my heart lies, because I don't let people harden my heart. I still trust, I still give loyalty, I still am going to be that lover, I'm going to still be Alexis. And so I'm like, look, the next person is going to get even more because it's just like I'm growing and I'm learning about, who I am and what I tolerate, my boundaries and everything and what I want to give to the next person. And so it
Mm,
just won't let me take me. I'm realizing that I'm not internalizing it, that these things happen for me and not to me. It's a big difference. And so it's
right.
like, I'm not using what these people, I always say, the girlfriend told me that she said, you got to let people land. And so let them
Mm,
show you who they are. Like, that's all you need for them. We do a horrible job as humans to like try to fix and
right.
like oversee things because we love, we're supposed to love. But at the same time, we're not supposed to be in pain either. And love, it does not supposed to
And
hurt.
it seemed like he was putting everything in, putting it all in. And
Yeah. And not
she
reciprocated.
didn't reciprocate anything towards him. And that's a sign. When you're
Mm-hmm.
doing everything and trying to win that person over, you're doing too much. That person is not for you. And that's when you need
Yeah.
to take a step back. And
Yeah.
it's sad because there's good people out there and you get into these relationships and they just take advantage of it.
Yeah,
Now
it's
you
hurtful. It is hurtful. And then it does spill over, like accidentally into the next situation because you know, it's you're triggered and you're a little covered. You're just a little more tense, and you just like, you know, it's hard. But to me, communication and transparency and being vulnerable and letting that next person know, like, look, this happened to me and I'm trying to do better, you know. So let me know if I feel a little triggered or traumatized from this situation, because it's painful, you know, like that's money, that's is time, it's investing in everything. But that lets you know that if she's doing this now, she would have done it, you know, ahead. But y'all had y'all time together, and use it for what that is. Understand that
I
what
would
you're
have been
capable
like, pay
of.
me my money back, girl, because you living
Nah.
this life. You're
Karma. I
behind.
believe in karma though. Like
Yeah, you
his
gonna get
heart was
it.
there to give, you know. You're supposed to give from your heart, you know what I mean, and not expect anything in return. So he blessed her, and let it be
She's
that, because
gonna
he's
get
going to
it.
be blessed.
She's gonna get it with her so-called new love life.
Exactly, exactly. Because you lose them how you get them, baby. All right.
Yep. So heartbroken and used, we wish you nothing but the best. We
That's
hope
right.
that you find, you know, someone that can reciprocate what you're doing in that relationship.
And appreciate you.
Exactly.
Yep.
All right, you guys, that is it for Humble Baddies. If you
Yes.
guys have any inquiries, any questions, anything, y'all can hit us at contact@humblebaddies.com. Make sure you subscribe to our podcast on YouTube. Also follow us on Instagram at Humble Baddies Podcast. I am Sharelle Rosado. You can find me at Sharelle Rosado _.
And I'm Alexis Welch Stoudemire. You can find me at Alexis_Stoudemire on Instagram.
Make sure you tell everybody, tell a friend to follow us and subscribe to Humble Baddies Podcast. Until next time, we'll see you guys on Wednesday.
Take care, everybody.